That Lakers-Nuggets clash, it was absolute theater. Breathless. But beneath the spectacle, it served as a perfect, painful case study of the deep-rooted flaws haunting this Los Angeles squad habits that are destined to send them packing in the first round all over again. We aren't watching championship pedigree. We're witnessing a fractured identity built on theatrics, flopping, bickering, shifting blame. Their defense is non-existent, and the offense dissolves into chaos whenever the ball handlers decide to wage war over who gets the spotlight. It is tough to watch. Truly. So, I am going to peel back the layers of this game against Denver, possession by possession, to expose just how agonizing and unwatchable this brand of Lakers basketball has actually become. Let's analyze the opening movements. For the first 3 minutes, the Lakers actually maintained their composure without a word to the officials, even while Denver orchestrated a ruthless 11-0 run to seize early control. Luka didn't find a reason to unravel until he baited the defense into a soft foul, triggering a challenge from Denver. The officials held the ball for maybe 10 seconds, and you could already see the frustration boiling over in Luka's body language. In that specific moment, maybe the frustration was warranted, but he let it linger. He let it fester. What is impossible to defend, however, is the complete lack of focus we saw later in the quarter. Luka takes contact to the face, gets the whistle, yet spends the entire dead ball stoppage and the ensuing review screaming at the official. Even after securing the offensive foul and forcing a turnover on Jokić, he just could not let it go. Shift to the next defensive sequence. Jackson Hayes completely surrenders the baseline to Jokić. It's an easy bucket, and immediately, LeBron and Hayes are throwing their hands up, shrugging and arguing instead of fixing the error. Now, LeBron has been notably absent on help defense, that is true. But Hayes cannot simply roll out the red carpet to the rim for the best player in the world and then have the audacity to complain when the ball goes through the net. Moments later, Hayes absorbs contact on the offensive end, doesn't get the whistle, and completely abandons his defensive assignment. You have to wonder which veteran leader he picked up that particular habit from. On the very next possession, he actually gets the call he wanted, yet he continues to chirp and moan. He is letting the officiating crew live rent-free in his head, constantly paralyzed by a whistle that may or may not come. This obsession with officiating defines the team's entire psyche. Opening the second quarter, Marcus Smart crashes into Jamal Murray on a blatant moving screen textbook offensive foul. Yet, LeBron and Smart react with pure fury, acting as if they have been robbed. It was the correct call. Later, Luka misses a shot with zero contact, and instead of sprinting back to defend, he stands there pleading his case. It is a script we have memorized by now. The officials allow the fast break to play out before blowing the whistle for the technical foul, leaving Luka standing there in a state of absolute shock. Officials have been delaying those calls more frequently to keep the game flowing. Personally, I believe they should just assess the technical the moment the outburst happens to maintain order. Was it a soft technical? Perhaps. But Luka paints a target on his own back. He is constantly scanning for the officials, locking eyes with them, practically daring them to blow the whistle. I cannot even include every instance in this breakdown because it happens on nearly every possession. The side-eye glances, the muttered insults, the theatrical shrugs, it is a relentless barrage of negativity. When you demand that much attention from the officiating crew, you are going to get it. I honestly do not know what kind of outcome he expects from that approach. Post-game, he argued that 3 other players said the same things without consequence. The difference? Those players do not berate the refs after every single play. Eventually, the dam breaks. Luka practically ensures the technical is inevitable. He pushes the boundaries until the line is crossed, then performs that ritual of disbelief. Why me? Closing out the first half, Luka actually blows right past Jokić with a burst of speed. He has a wide-open lane to the basket. But instead of finishing, he decelerates to hunt for contact. He misses the layup, turns to complain, and once again leaves his teammates shorthanded on defense. The Nuggets capitalize on the numbers advantage and score. Then, watching LeBron drill a tough, contested jumper with no foul called, the celebration is skipped immediately in favor of complaining. Let's look at the tape. LeBron initiates the contact, lowering his shoulder into Hardaway. Hardaway actually retreats. That is good, clean defense, nothing more. Yet, Both LeBron and Luka remained on the court at halftime, not to strategize, but to lobby the officials. I have a humble suggestion for the second half. Instead of driving straight into the defense hoping for a bailout whistle, maybe try evading the contact to find a clean look. LeBron got lucky, his shot fell. Luka wasn't so fortunate. What is wrong with simply trying to execute a clean bucket? You are looking at a team that already leads the entire association in free throw differential. Luka himself sits at number 1 in free throw attempts. How much more charity do you expect the league to grant you? If the strategy isn't working, you have to adapt. Opening possession of the third quarter, Luka refuses to adjust, and the sequence ends with the exact same disappointing result. But the following play, it borders on comedy. Literally no one touches him. He has a pristine, uncontested path to the rim, smokes the layup entirely on his own, and still turns around looking for a scapegoat in stripes. No effort to get back. Then you have Smart backing down, tripping over his own feet into Jokić, and looking genuinely stunned that the whistle blew against him. But do not worry. He compensated on the next possession by intentionally hooking Jokic's arm. Careful there. Smart, you have got a live Serbian on the line? Somehow, they called that foul on Jokić. Moments later, Luka gets pinged for offensive interference and completely unravels. Demanding a video review, the Lakers indulge him, challenge the call, and lose. Shifting to the fourth quarter, we see LeBron leading the break, but he pushes the pass too far ahead of Rui Hachimura. The ball turns over, and LeBron loses his composure. Now, this is the specific moment that really bothers me about the leadership dynamic here. LeBron had the ability to deliver a better pass. He let him too much. Rui is a phenomenal shooter, and he was doing his job, eyes locked on the rim, ready to finish. Instead of owning the errant pass, LeBron shrugs, screams at his teammate, turns his back, and delivers a death stare. It is passive-aggressive. It is a look of pure disgust directed at his own guy, as if to say, "Oh, Rui, you bum." Meanwhile, Rui has been the singular spark keeping this team alive tonight. He was absolutely lights out from beyond the arc. He matched LeBron's point total on fewer attempts. Sure, he could have arguably caught that ball, but he made a mistake. Don't act like you haven't fumbled a possession before. If we are scrutinizing execution, here is LeBron's contribution down the stretch. A bricked three-pointer, an airball jumper, and allowing defenders to blow right past him. The box score doesn't lie. Rui was a +10 while LeBron sat at a -10. But just wait. The optics get even worse. A few minutes later, LeBron attempts to sell a phantom call. He hits the deck and immediately starts clutching his elbow in apparent agony. At first, he grabs the elbow that impacted the floor near Jokić. But then, mid-performance, he switches to holding the other elbow. Even the broadcast team was left trying to decipher the pantomime. So, initially he is going down, breaking his fall with the right arm, and then suddenly the injury migrates to the left arm at the very end of the sequence. Did he kick someone's foot? No one seems to have any clue how he actually got hurt. He spends a moment berating the refs for the non-call, then checks himself out of the game. But fear not. He heroically checks back into the lineup in the closing seconds, replacing the very guy he hung out to dry, Rui Hachimura. It forces you to analyze the philosophy behind the turnover and the subsequent rotation. JJ makes a decision rooted in hierarchy, subbing out the hot hand for the franchise centerpiece, who effectively controls the organization. But the game punishes that sentiment. Nikola Jokić immediately imposes his will, dismantling the resistance and leaving the Lakers without a single offensive answer. So the focus shifts to theatrics, attempting to manufacture a foul call where none exists. He pleads his case to the officials regarding the non-call, despite the harsh reality that the contact was entirely imagined. He was moving through space, completely untouched by the defense. Then comes the demand for a challenge on the out-of-bounds play, a refusal to accept the visual evidence. It is a moment of pure stubbornness, insisting on a review even though he was clearly the final person to influence the flight of the ball. JJ is left staring at the situation, essentially communicating a hard truth. The resources are gone. He had already spent his challenge on a previous emotional outburst, leaving the coaching staff with absolutely no leverage to intervene in this specific moment. Ultimately, the Nuggets close out the contest, securing the win with professional poise. It stands as a testament to high-level competition, a truly magnificent display of basketball execution, simply incredible to watch.